Happy Friday, guys. I'm going to start this real quick. Happy Friday, guys. I'm going to start this real quick.
Curious about real estate?
Happy Friday, guys. I'm going to start this real quick.
Curious about real estate?
Happy Friday, guys. I'm going to start this real quick.
Curious about real estate?
Happy Friday, guys. I'm going to start this real quick.
Curious about real estate?
Happy Friday, guys. I'm going to start this real quick.
Curious about real estate?
Happy Friday, guys. I'm going to start this real quick.
Curious about real estate?
Happy Friday, guys. I'm going to start this real quick.
Curious about real estate?
I hear an echo. Let's see what's going on. Friday, guys. I'm going to start this real quick.
Curious about real estate?
I hear an echo. Let's see what's going on. Friday, guys. I'm going to start this real quick.
So it's really close to home? 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 Ryan is negotiating a house. We think it's worth $110,000, and she negotiated it down to 67,000 and some change. So it's a skinny deal for us, but the numbers seem to work fine. I'll go ahead and what is 110 from 67, $43,000. I'll take $43,000 after buy cost and sell cost because I know that's 8%, 8.25%. So on 110, I'm going to have about $9,000. So if I take 9 from 110, let's call that 10 from 110. That's going to be 100. Take 100 from 67, $33,000 in your pocket. Raise your hand if you want to make $33,000. Having
Great. I am calling.
This is Geraldine.
Hi, Darylyn. This is Ryan. You spoke with Alex on the phone about your interest
Oh.
in selling your house.
Yeah.
That's great. I am calling back to verify that the information Alex took from you is correct so that we can come to an agreement to purchase your property. Is this a good time?
Yeah.
Perfect. And in case we get disconnected, is this the best number to contact you back on?
Yes.
Sounds great. Do you happen to have an alternative number, Darylyn?
I can give you my husband's number. It's 661.
So that's 661.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And it does look like I have your email address, which is perfect.
Always
Darylyn, you did call
confirm
us
data.
because you have a house you're hoping to sell. Yes?
Correct.
Fantastic. We are definitely looking for another house to buy right now. And your house sounds like the kind we're looking for, too. Alex marked here that the property is not currently listed with a real estate broker. Is that accurate?
Yes.
It's not listed.
Again, I always confirm.
Great.
Okay, you're selling your property and it's not listed with an agent. Again, you can always buy properties where you talk to the owner and he called you directly and it's listed with an agent. Just make sure that the realtor knows and the agent knows and the owner knows that whatever fees are going to be charged as far as the commissions are coming from the seller's portion.
It's not listed.
Yeah. And we are speaking about
Okay, then you confirm the
501
address?
Washington, California.
Correct.
Awesome. And it looks like when you and Alex were speaking about the condition of the property, you said that there's somewhere around 5,000 in repairs and upgrades.
Yeah, probably. You know, we've had renters in it for the last.
Okay,
3
you always
years,
want to
probably.
mention if they talk about any repairs as far as an amount, that's a good as far as a discount for you. Again, 5,000. They already know that it's at least $5,000 in repairs that are needed to be on this property. Need to be done.
We did go in and upgrade the shower in there last year. But you know, there's probably some tender loving care that could be done. You know, within $5,000.
Within $5,000, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And we do buy houses in any condition, from the ugliest to the most beautiful house on the block. We actually don't ask our sellers to do any work or repairs at all. So after we buy the house, we'll actually be the ones doing all the repairs and updates, okay?
Okay.
Darylyn, I also wanted to ask you, what's causing you to want to sell this property?
You always ask
You know,
what's the reason. Again, this is a follow-up call. So you always verify, okay, perfect. You talked to my previous coworker, Ryan. I'm Alex. You can use always those names because Alex can be a woman and a man, and Ryan can be a woman and a man. The same thing, but I always confirm. So I'm just going here through the notes, just make, okay, so what's the reason why you want to sell this property? Again, you always want to bring out the pain that we got on the first call, or if it's your first call, okay, the way I modified it is, okay, perfect. Well, it sounds like a pretty nice house. Again, is the area okay? Or why are you selling? So again, the phrase is, okay, is the area okay? Or why are you selling? Because you know for a fact they're gonna try to sell you on the property. So they're gonna say, oh no, the area is perfect. Trust me. Again, if I had if I could have kept track of this, again, out of 100 questions that I asked like that, probably 100 of them are, again, no, the area is okay. It's just this. And they'll give you the reason why they're gonna sell.
We just are not. I mean, we're not in the position to. You know, it's not helping us. It's just you know, on our taxes, we can't write it off. It's just not. It's not helping us to have the property.
It's not beneficial for you.
It's not.
All right, we can certainly help you with that. What have you done so far to try and sell this house?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing else.
What
Is
have
this
you
your
done?
first time
I always
speaking with
ask
somebody
that
about
question.
it?
What have you done to try to sell this property? Listed. You always say, you know what? Well, you can always keep it in the family. Again, I know maybe you don't want to keep it. Maybe your son, your daughter, your uncle, your brothers. It's always great to keep it in the family plus the tax benefits. Just to put more pressure on. No, I don't want to have it in my family. I need to sell it, etc.
All right, no problem. Do you have to sell this house in order to buy the next one or to meet future goals?
Euro.
No, le sacoteó. Es bien rajón. Es bien rajón el güey. que la fundación, que el vecino.
So you guys heard that. Again, I got a buyer backing out on day on closing, just today. Again, this is what you do. Something with it. What do? I have a backup offer, but now you got to explain to the owner, hey, this happened. We gotta delay the closing, and I have a closing today at 3 p.m. So again, we're making calls as far as that. Let's continue with the call.
No. Okay, just makes us the perfect buyer for you. Because we're not looking for a house to live in, we can actually buy your house and close on the date of your choice. With that being said, when would you say is the soonest you would be able to sell your house and close escrow by?
Well, as we have renters in there, I don't know what the law is. Would we have to give them 30 days?
So again, you always want to put in their mindset in their mind, okay, when do you want to close by? So they can pick, oh, I have a closing. That means I have a check after that closing. So now you always, and then you move back from that.
If they needed
No, I
longer,
would say a 30-day escrow.
30 days, no problem. And we do work with the tenants in the home, and I will get to that here in just a minute, okay?
Okay.
Notice for tenants. How much are your tenants paying per month?
$700.
$700. What do you believe the max is they could pay?
I'm sorry?
What do you believe the max is that you could rent the house for?
Well, I know.
Perfect.
I did talk to somebody.
Let's get her price out there as far as how much is she willing to sell it for.
Just to get some advice, and they said that Section 8 is going for $1,000 for a 3-bedroom house in Bakersfield. So I would say $1,000 a month probably.
$1,000 max. Interesting. If this property doesn't sell, Darlene, how is that going to affect your plans?
It won't. I mean, we'll probably list it with a realtor, and I mean we're just starting the process. So I mean it's not like we have to sell it to get out from under the debt. I mean it's nothing like that. We just want to get rid of it. Right. I understand. And you said that you are renting right now, and that was my next question. You also mentioned to Alex that you believe the house to be worth about $100,000 in today's market. You know, we looked on Zillow. That's where we came up with that number is on Zillow. Great.
Yeah. So you're doing a little bit of research. That sounds good. Do you know if that would be an as-is price or putting it in perfect condition price, in your opinion?
I would think we would probably have to invest. You know, for me personally, I would. You know, we went in and we put in new carpet, new paint, new linoleum. We did all of that 3 years ago. But you know, wear and tear and that kind of thing. So I think we would probably, for my preference, want to go in and do some repairs on it before we try to sell it. So that price would be a perfect condition price.
So again, you want to make sure that you get what's it called, the seller to give the price that they think it's worth as is, and then how much would you like to how much would you want to put into it as far as repairs, so they can be a ARV after repair value of once the house is perfect. Because that way, okay, if it's as like this and you add 10K, that means it can be worth this much. Well, I can probably do the 10K, but I can cost of closing cost. Cost of closing, it's an average of 18%, and you work down from there. You always want to work with the owner's numbers if it makes sense, and if not, you already have a lower number to begin with because he already told you, well, it's worth this much as is, it's worth this much fully repaired, and it's this much as far as repairs. So you can work from there, and if it doesn't work, then you can always deduct it as far as ask for a discount from the lowest price that the owner gave you.
I think so. All right. What do you believe the house would be worth as is?
Well, that's where we kind of came up with 80,000.
80,000.
Mm-hmm.
80K as is. All right. And are you aware of what the houses that are similar to yours in the same area are selling for?
I'm not.
You're not. That's all right. No problem. I did also want to ask you. You mentioned that if this property doesn't sell,
Again, watch.
you would think about going and listing the property with a real estate agent. Are you actually aware of how expensive that is and all the costs involved with
Cost
calling
of
for a
closing.
traditional buyer?
Most sellers are in the belief that instead of for 50, you're gonna net 50. No, if you go with a realtor agent, again, you're losing on average from 12 to 15%, depending on the condition, depending on the repairs, depending on the time, and depending on what's called, so time, condition, and repairs.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
great.
that's not the first time I've sold a house, so.
Yeah, that's going to help me out so much. We do deal with a lot of first-time
If they say yes, perfect, I still reiterate how much it takes.
buyers and sellers. How much would you say it would cost you?
Well, a realtor, let's say we listed it at, I'm going to do some numbers. Okay, hold on just a second.
All right.
If we listed it for 85 to help cover the closing cost, I know we pay 1% of the closing cost. I know we pay about probably 5% to a realtor, so that's 6% off the top. I think, unless you're going to tell me something different. So if we listed it for 85,000, and 26%.
So she's doing your calculation. Said, well, if I sell it for 80,
$5,100.
$5,100. And you said that would be at 6%?
Yeah, that's 1% closing cost and 5% realtor.
5% realtor. Yeah, our numbers are pretty close. What we've been seeing typically is anywhere from 10 to 20%, and that is including the real estate commission, escrow fees, transfer tax, all the other closing costs. So, if you listed the house for 85, we'd be looking closer to about 8,000 or anywhere from 8,000 to 16,000. And what I'd like to do is come to an agreement if you believe it'd be closer to the 10,000 or if you believe it to be closer to the 20,000.
Yeah, no, I disagree with that. I would say, closer to maybe at the most 8,000. If we
Maybe at the most.
I have.
So again, she was trying to say, oh, it's only going to be 5,000. Nah, usually it's not 1% in closing costs. You gotta, again, you listed with an agent, means you need repairs, because if it go, unless they have a cash buyer, well, most likely anybody that lists a property are gonna most of the buyers are gonna be not non-cash buyers. Sorry, they're gonna be what's it called, bank buyers, which means it repairs and etc. Depending on the type of loan they give. Most loans require that the property be ready to go.
I have friends who are realtors. I have, mortgage people.
And then she again, oh, I have friends. Everybody has friends. Perfect. But again, it is what it is. If you the reason why you're listing with an agent is to get the top dollar. And top dollar, most likely, if I can, out of 10 deals, 9 of them will have what's called a bank behind it. And banks, inspections, repairs, appraisals, surveys, etc.
People, I mean, I think 10% would be the most we would pay to sell this property.
The most. All right, no problem. To be honest.
Oh yeah, perfect. And you can always say, well, yeah, that's the most that you can pay. But again, it is what it is as far as the numbers. 60% commission. Again, maybe you don't get the commit. Maybe you don't have a real estate agent, but the buyer has a real estate agent. So again, either you lose a deal or you pay the agent commission. It's 2 to 3% of closing costs. Escrow fees are crazy now. So again, it's expensive. Another $2,000 there, depending on the transaction. And then repairs. Again, most likely you gotta do some repairs. Again, 2 to 3% of repairs. And based on what she was saying, the repairs to pass inspection might be $3,000 or $4,000.
Honest with you, like I had mentioned, most home sellers are not aware of how much it costs to sell a house, but it's very fortunate that you do have friends in the real estate business that can help you out with that. And
let me just end this quick. For some reason, my cell phone doesn't like taking pictures. So I gotta send the pictures through Mighty Text. Share screen. Share some. Let's go back up.
And you do have a bit more information about all that, so that's great. Darylyn, is there a mortgage on this property?
Yeah, we owe $20,420 on it.
$20,420. Put that in there. And the monthly mortgage payments are $320.
Actually, I think they're about $400. I told her $320 yesterday, and then I just saw a state. I was looking through everything. It was about $400.
$400. All right. And those payments are
I
current,
think
right?
the property taxes and insurance probably went up on it, so that's why.
Property taxes and insurance. That's no problem at all. And the payments are current, correct?
Yes.
The payments are current. Great. Darylyn, I do want to tell you a little bit about what we do, what we can do for you, and the benefits that we do provide. We actually buy houses like yours all the time, and one of the great things is that we pay for all the costs. So everything that you would be paying going through a realtor, we pay for all those things. So real estate commission, title insurance, as well as escrow fees.
Okay. Let me answer this call real quick. Yeah, hello. That does my, as far as my inspections, as far as repairs, and he's gonna give me a number that we can offer you. I know you wanted to sell it ASAP, right? You wanted to sell it as soon as possible? Okay. Now,
It's a good offer. I can take it.
I get you. And I spoke to your son. Are you gonna be signing the agreement, or is your daughter gonna sign the agreement, or who do I negotiate as far as the price with?
Well, I given an assistant living home, and I would like to be included.
Okay, because I know he mentioned that they have a power of attorney on you, right?
Yeah, power of attorney is my daughter.
Yes, it's your daughter. So do I talk to her about the price, or do I tell you and then we agreed? And because the thing that we don't want is going back and forth. Whoa, now talk to my daughter about the price.
Okay. Yeah, well, I need to be part of it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have your number, your daughter's number, so I can call her or you can call her?
Well, I'm seeing her tomorrow.
Okay.
I will tell you to give you a call.
Okay.
What is your name? I'm sorry.
Arturo.
Okay, Arturo. I will talk to her because I'm seeing her tomorrow. They're going to come and take. So I will see her, and then I'll give her your number and tell her, what it's all about.
Okay. Sounds good then, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You have a good day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Again, that deal, it's nearby my area. It's 1.2 acres, great location. The lady's not in a hospital, she's in a living home, assisted living. They do have a power, that was the lead. It was the power of attorney lead, where, what's it called? We scraped power of attorneys. I reached out to her. She said she wanted to sell the property. She said 300,000. I know that house probably fixed. It's probably worth probably close to 550. It's a big property. It has 3 buildings. So it's a 3-2 main building, which is 2,500 square feet. There's a 1-1 which is probably like 700 square feet on the left side. No central AC. And there's an apartment, another building, which is a two-car garage that has a 2-unit apartment, but it's not an apartment because it doesn't have a restroom. But if we add a bathroom there, then you got 3 units in that area. I know, all fixed up, big location, great area. It's a great area. It's probably worth around, based on the comparables, it's probably close to 550. You got to put 100 into it because it's a big location. But I can always owner finance that property. If I get it, I'm thinking of getting it around 230, 220. If I get it at 220, I can do 2 things. I can either get a loan on it and then owner finance it, like a hard money loan. If I can get a hard money loan like at 7-8%, I have a local lender here. I can always wrap it, or I can just take it down myself and then fix it up and then resell it. How the market is, it's, again, that location is perfect. So again, that was a power of attorney property lead. That was, let me see if I can pull it up. What am I sharing now? Hold on, maybe I can share this real quick. Stop sharing. So you guys know what I'm talking about as far as I get leads, free leads, and it's just a matter of just touching base with them. So right here, Alicia Rich. So let me share this with you guys real quick. You see right here, that's her name. You see right here, it's a niche from August 2021. What type of property was it? What type of lead was it? POA. And it was done 8/21. That's when I scraped it. I was skip trace it. So you see, this is how I do my follow-ups, and this is the deal. I gotta lock it down again. I was thinking two. That's the phone number of the son. But yeah, if I lock it up probably around 2:30, it's a great deal. Let me share this again with you guys. Let's see. There we go. So again, it's just a matter of following up with properties. Again, since I've been talking to her since August. So we'll see how that one turns out. And right now I got to deal with this backup buyer. Let's see. Let's go.
And transfer tax. Not only that, but we also pay for termite clearance and roof certification.
So just catching back up on the call again, you always tell them, oh, you're saving this. Break it down to the seller so they know what they're saving by going through you.
Just goes on and on. We do buy the properties in an as-is condition, so we are going to assume the responsibility for all of the needed repairs and upgrades, whether we have seen them already or not. And one of the positive factors about selling us your house is that you or whoever's living in the home, I know you said you have some tenants, can actually stay there for as long as you need them to, and we can still get you the money on the date of your choice. We will be paying cash when we buy your property, so you can have peace of mind knowing it's sold. And not only sold, but sold to someone who can afford to buy it, because we don't have to rely on a bank to qualify your house, nor do we need to beg them for a loan and risk them changing their minds at the last minute.
Sorry about that.
$55,000. You can't see yourself doing any better than the $55,000?
Well, what would you offer? I mean,
you see, and
well,
that make that response like an automatic response. You don't see doing anything better than 55,000, like something automatically, like when they say this should be your automatic, like when they ask you when you're at the store, how you say automatically, hey, do you need help? Oh no, I'm just looking. That's the way you should say it. Once they give you a price, oh, you don't see yourself doing anything better than that. Always be a thing that, and always asking for reductions after the contracts.
that's what we're coming to the table with. What would you guys come to the table with?
Right. Well, since we're going to be paying all those costs, as I had mentioned, all the necessary repairs and updates, closing costs, going to eliminate
You reiterate what you're saving them as far as when they're selling to you.
all those to eliminate your holding costs. And we are going to have to turn around and sell this property again to a new family, and we end up with a whole new set of closing costs again. So 2 sets of closing costs are what we're going to have to pay off. Typically, all these expenses cost us 20 to 25% of the sales price. And as a professional investor, I'm sure you can understand that we do need to make some kind of gain. And I don't know if we could, but if we could, we would be looking to buy the property somewhere around $40,000.
And paying
Again, 40,000. She wanted 55. Now you're at 40. Let's see how she reacts.
off the loan or no?
Yes, we would be paying off the loan. So we would pay off the loan. We would fix the repairs, take care of the closing costs, and we would also net you $40,000 walk away. Is that
That's the best you could do.
Well, where would you?
Could we like? So we wanted 55.
Right.
We're offering 40.
Right.
That's a $15,000 difference. How about
Right.
if you came to the table with 47?
So you see now she countered 55. We counter at 40, and then she automatically dropped 7,000. You see, if you wouldn't have asked that question, you wouldn't have gotten that 7K discount.
47. Do you think you could do 45?
I don't know. I'd have to talk to my husband about 45. We'd be coming off $15,000 from what we originally thought.
Right.
You know, I think that if you could come up to 47, I think we could come up with a deal.
If we could come up
That's coming halfway.
halfway. Okay, so if we can get an approval for the purchase price of 47.
Okay, and yeah, again, an automatic response. Okay, you want a 47. First 55. Can you do any better than that? And they say, well, what are you thinking about? 40. And they're like, well, can you do? If you can do 47, we're locked in. And then you always, like a natural response. Okay, drop it another one. Okay, you do 45. An automatic response. Whatever number they give you, automatic response go lower. And again, 45. She said no. Perfect. It was another shot. And then she says, well, if I can get you an approval 47, are you ready to go?
7,000. Are you ready to sell your house to us today?
Okay, I'm going to put you on hold for just a second and talk to my husband about it, okay?
No problem.
Perfect. She put her on the spot. Well, if I give you 47, you ready to go? He's like, oh, let me talk to my husband real quick. Wow, she's on the phone.
What was your name again?
Ryan.
Ryan. I'm sorry. So if you give us $47,000 and pay off our loan, I think we'd have a deal.
Think we'd have a deal? That sounds great. Darlene, we are ready to move forward and buy your house. I just need to make sure that we are both committed to this. So like I had mentioned before, if we can come up with the approval for the purchase price of $47,000, you are ready to sell your house to us today, correct? Sounds good to me. I would like to write up a purchase agreement for you, and I can email that, correct?
You know what? Let me give you a different address just so that way I can print it out and stuff. I'm going to give you my work address.
All right, no problem.
.com.
.com. So I got.
Correct.
So now you lock it in. Okay, perfect. Let me go send you the agreement. You always lock it up. Okay, the agreement is going to say that we're going to buy for this price. And this price is the terms. Again, usually most people might have 1 or 2 questions. Go ahead and write them down, and let's set up a call at this time tomorrow. So, or that same day, if it's early in the morning, that same day, so you can lock it up. You always want to give a reinforcement of what they're going to receive, reinforcement of them signing it, and reinforcement. If they have questions, we have a call 2 hours later or whatever time. But make sure you get a definite time frame ahead for you guys to review and make sure you lock the contract.
Okay, sounds great. I'm going to be sending over your purchase agreement shortly. If you could go ahead and get it signed, look it over. So go ahead, print it out, look it over, get it signed, and either email or fax it back to us, and we can open.
So again, you see how the negotiation works. The key takeaways from this call is, okay, why they're selling the property, what's their view of the value, what's their view of the value as far as this was 80K. Well, I'm paying all the cost to close is all this amount of money. And what would you sell it to us? 55. Okay, 55. Perfect. Okay. Can you automatic response? Can you do a little bit better than that? Well, what can you do for us? Well, again, your offer has to embarrass you. It has to hurt you when you say it. So they wanted 55. She said, well, we can do 40. And then she reacted, okay, what can you do 47? We'll close. And then her automatic response, can you do 45? You went from an assets value of 80 to an initial offer from the seller at 50 or 55 to a counter offer from the own seller going down from your offer for 80 or 40 to 47, and then you ask for another reduction for 2. She said no. If you lock it for 45, it's 47 is good. She's like, well, let me talk to my husband real quick. They talk to her husband. Okay, perfect. They say yes, and then okay, well, let me send you the contract, and let me go ahead and follow up 2 hours later to make sure there's no questions. so we can make sure that the contract it's executed and we go ahead and turn it into title to get the process started. Again, in between there, you mentioned what's an average cost to sell, 12 to 20%, depending on what state you're in, as far as repairs and time frame. You're saving all that. We have to we buy this property as a business, so we have to make profit. We still got to pay the commission, the closing, and everything on both sides. She mentioned that. Well, we gotta pay the closing when we buy it, and we gotta pay the closing when we sell it. So again, give us a discount, and then it worked out. So yeah, that's a live seller call that we reviewed. Again, it's great to record calls and review them so you know what to do. Again, we moved a little bit further from this as far as how we talk to owners, etc. Especially that question. Why are you selling? If you go sometimes when you go straightforward with why you're selling, they're like, oh no, well, what is that? What is that to you? What is it to you? Like, oh, you don't want to get that. You don't want to get that. What's it called? That response being a negative response. You ask them, well, sounds like a great property. Is there anything wrong with the area, or why are you selling? Again, that automatic is like the automatic response when you're at the store. Oh no, I'm just looking. They're gonna say, oh no, the area is great. It's this. Again, you get your answer by not asking it at first. What's going on, brother? There you go. So again, that's a live seller call. Again, you can always learn from those calls. Again, those are great calls. Again, people pay thousands of dollars to learn those scripts, to learn those skills. Now I got a text from this guy. Let me see what he tells me. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Let me go inside tomorrow from inside. Now he's asking me how much I want for it. Let me see how much I sent it for him. Okay, let me go see it again. Inside. Hey, the lady that's selling. Might have some that would want. Okay. So now I'm dealing with this guy. But it is what it is, right? Okay. Get my screen. So again, that deal again just fell through today, right now, and you guys heard the call at 12:30. And it happens, right? It happens. Now you gotta try to get this buyer locked in. I might make a bigger assignment. This guy had offering a price for this property already. I was gonna make a 15K assignment, but it was after the fact that the other guy had already gave me a price. But now the other guy fell through. I might make more, but now the question, like, well, how do you break it down to this to the owner that you had to move the closing from today to Monday, most likely? Mr. X, let's do interact here. Well, Mr. X, I'm gonna have to move the closing till Monday. Again, our funding had a little slag. snack and they didn't get the paperwork in time. Again, businesses like that, they always have delays. But let me go ahead and talk to the title company so we can make sure that we get close on Monday. Again, how might they respond? Like, whoa, nah, the deal's off. Well, I understand your feelings, or I apologize for that. But again, businesses like that, I know you've been holding this property for a long time. Again, we're ready to buy. Again, unfortunately, my funding is just a big company. It's not they don't cater to me. I have to cater to them because they're a big company. They have probably 60 or 80 transactions a day. So again, I can definitely agree to maybe cancel the contract, but again, I don't think that's the main thing for you. You want to go ahead and get rid of this property. But what we can do is push it for Monday, and as an additional consideration, I'll give you an extra $500. $500, right? So again, that's how I'm gonna handle the call. No, it's not even gonna call because they get out to 6. I'll send them a text. Because they might be at work right now, and I have to, because we have a closing at 3:30. This guy. Okay, so I can break it down to this week's. Again, I got a couple of number of leads. It's just a matter of have them signing the contracts. They're good. I have a lot that came through a bird dog. Again, a bird dog, somebody that drives for you. This guy actually works for the city of where I'm from, and what he does is basically. So what he does is basically anything that looks like it's promising, he'll send me a text. He'll text me the property and the picture of the property and the address if he has it. Most likely he has it, right? And this one again, it was a nice lot, 6,000 square feet lot. They're going around 6,000 and 60,000 in our area, 60, 65. This one probably go for 65 because of the location. It's in a hot market here. It's in a hot zip code. He wanted 45. I brought it down to 41.5, and then he told me ready to go, and I sent him the agreement. I asked him, "Do you have anything else that needs to be in this conversation?" Like, no, we're good. And sure enough, he didn't sign the agreement. And then he said, "Well, my daughter's in the hospital." Okay, perfect. You know what? Don't worry about that. Let's talk on on Thursday at 4 p.m. when he gets out of work. And then he texted me before. Well, the reason why I'm delayed is because my daughter's in the hospital. I did talk to my wife. Again, remember I had asked this question prior, and she really wants 45. Again, and he sent me a long text. And again, he said, no, I was under duress because of my daughter. Again, I wasn't thinking straight, but my wife wants 45. You know what? 45 still makes sense. I can still make a chunk in the middle. So yeah, we're back at 45. Again, this property actually has a for sale by owner sign, but again, it's in a really location that you really have to know where you're going to be able to see that property. So again, 45. I sent in the agreement. I have 2 potential buyers in the area that are builders. This lot will probably, if I was to list this property, it can probably go for like 75, because again, you get more people there to look at your property. But again, with 65 cash to an investor, no dealing with somebody that doesn't know what I'm doing, works. So those builders here in the area will take it up easily. But yeah, it's crazy. That one's a good one. Again, there's a property in a location, again, another bandit sign property. Call me. He wanted 37, right? At 37 is already a deal. I already have a owner finance buyer that buys them, and the owner finances at 55. But I told him, send me the pictures, because he said I got 2 people that are gonna see this property. So again, I can try to make more and ask for a reduction, or another reduction. I can counter him, but at 37 is still a good deal. Again, I'd rather make 5 and lock it up than try to make 10 and lose the deal. So I told this guy, you know what? Have the other guy go see it, and then call me after that he sees it. And then he calls. He didn't want to give me his number. He didn't want to give me his number. He sent me pictures, and the property looks pretty good. Again, pretty good. So those pictures I sent it to my buyer, to my buy and hold buyer. He's like, yeah, I'll take it for 55. So then I texted him at 37. I want basically to give him what he wants so that I can lock it up. And now he tells me that he has another person walking it through. And again, knowing that, most likely they're gonna try to get him at 35, at 33. I know if I can get him at 37, I'll lock it up. and then I go physically, I might get another 2-3K discount and lock it up at 33, at 35, maybe 34 if I had to pay all the closing. So I still locked it up at the price that I wanted. I wanted to lock it up at 30. But again, if I have it already sold at 55, 37 is good. And again, once I call him, I'm telling him, you know what? Well, you wanted 37. I'll give you your number. What's the hesitation? I did tell him, make sure you Google the numbers of the people that you call, because if you Google my number, it's plastered all over the internet as far as that we're actual buyers on on properties. And remember, one of the things about this is like when other people say, well, you're not an actual buyer. Actually, yeah, I can actually close on this property. Again, I just decide not to. And that's where the difference between someone that does it the right way or not. When you actually can close on the property, that means you're doing it the right way. You can always, you have the funds to close on it, but why would I want to close it if I can sell it right away? Half the other guy wastes his money, invests his money in this property. So again, all of our properties, we can close on them. Again, if it's a really hot deal, we record memorandums right away, because again, we're either gonna close on it and relist it, hotel it, whatever, or again, all these properties that I'm getting again, and that's gonna be probably a new model that I'm gonna try to implement. But again, I need to get someone that's older and has bigger pockets than me and is willing to make 5% on their money per contract.
To the new model?
Yeah, because the reason in my area, if I was to list my properties that I'm getting, as far as with the market, I can probably make an extra 10K because I'm getting it at a real low price. You know what I mean? But what I want to do is I want to, like the one that I'm making 30 on it, I closed on it, and now I'm selling it for 44. So I'm making $32,000 on it. But I know if I can do it for all of them, if I have the money to buy them and list them, again, I can make an extra. Again, the thing is here, my funder has to not have my funder needs to be okay at having his money sit 2 to 3 months if it takes that to sell, as far as to close and finalize. Like this lot that I'm taking down at 45, if I listed it for 75 or 80, I might get like 73, because again, that's an extra what, $8,000.
God damn, I need to move.
What was that?
I need to move.
Yeah, our area is hot. Again, our area is, again, especially in this zip code where I got this lot at. Again, that's all day 6,000 square foot home, 6,000 square foot lots are going for like $70,000, $80,000 because there's no more land. There's more land north and south, but people want to be here because we got all the restaurants and we got everything. So again, and I've been talking to people that have old money that might be interested in doing that. You know what? Just buy it, lock it up, close it, and then I'll make you a note, or you're the owner. Again, a lot of my investors that I have are what's handshake investors. Not this guy that just fell through on this deal. He was kind of flaky all the time. I had dealt with him probably like 3 or 4 years ago, and he was kind of flaky. And this one, he flaked out at closing. So now I gotta backtrack on this one. Hopefully I can make an extra 5-7K with this new buyer that was gonna actually buy it from me after I locked it up with this other guy. But yeah, so that's gonna be the new model. If I can get somebody that's willing to just sit on his money for 2-3 months and make, maybe I can give him a fee, 3K fee for your money, and then another 5% once you close. I know for a fact I can make an extra 10-20K on each deal, because it's not gonna be a hotel. It's just gonna be kind of like a hotel, but actually taking it down. Because here in our area, they're kind of iffy when, again, there's a lot of, like they say, a lot of snakes. So you gotta make sure that you actually close on a deal before you try to list it. Or sometimes we can actually pay the equity. If we're buying it for 100, they owe 80. You know what? I'll give you 20K. I've done it in other deals, but 20K is okay. But yeah, maybe holding 100K, it's kind of. I need somebody that's comfortable holding it for 2-3 months.
Yeah, you have some. I know a few investors in the Mercer County area of New Jersey. They will actually list the wholesale deals. The only thing is they will put in the listing agreement that you have to use their title company.
Okay, so they can control the contract, which is good. You always want to control the transaction. That's the best way to actually get deals to close.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, here in my area, again, I've done it a couple of times where I've gotten a wholesale deal and I talked to a couple of realtors and they've actually talked to the owner. It just, maybe it's a cultural thing or just the area thing. So I'd rather, you know what, close on it and list it and list it with an agent, with a, well, actually not listed, but actually do a flat listing. I have a couple of realtors that are flat listers for $300.
Oh man, you're ultra treat, man.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You're not even paying in the 6%.
Oh no! Again, I got in deals where I told a couple of like a few calls ago. He's like, if you're making 60, offer 15K for a buyer. I told the agent, hey, you know what, agent, I'll give you 15K, bring me a buyer. You're making 15K, 15K. That shit moves an agent. Don't try to, again, if you're making 60, shit, like in this deal, if I can hold to this one, let's say I would have made 30, I'll give you 7K on a small purchase. 7K cash. Most realtors, again, the average of realtors don't make deals. Like I think they close 1 or 2 a year. So any realtor that can give you a buyer and you give him 7K as a marketing fee, they'll be game. You know what? Just shit. I'll get you a buyer. I'll find you a buyer from my actually pocket that I know of buyers and lock it up, and they won't go around you. So yeah, you gotta basically what's called motivate the realtors to actually close with you, actually bring you buyers by offering more. Don't offer the 6% because 6% is, you know what? I'll give you 15K to you as a marketing fee. I'll give you 7K to you as a marketing fee. I mean, then I'll send you the taxes, and you can do whatever with your taxes. But you're getting 7K right now, and you're only splitting it with yourself. So yeah, it's crazy. Another thing that I was gonna mention is that there's some hot zones in my area where people are moving to. So I skip trace all those hot zones, right? And there's like 7,000 phone numbers. And now my new technique is with my caller. We hasn't done it, so I've been doing the calls. Is I'll reply 300 calls a day, 300 calls a day. By the time I finish, it might be 20 days. But one of the things that I'm doing, the Google driver, the Google Maps went by those areas March. So what I'm doing is actually driving for dollars in those areas virtually, because it's much easier for me virtually. And then those hotter, because it's already a hot zone. People are moving in that property, to those areas, the investors. And now I'm actually driving for dollars and looking at the distressed properties themselves. So the first hot zone, there was probably like 1,000, probably like 800 houses in that area. And I pulled out 90 that were either empty lots or they were messed up houses. So those are the ones that I'm going to target. Once I get my mostly my BA was supposed to come back, my caller. But if not, those 90 calls, 90 deals, those are the ones that I start putting more pressure on, because I know for a fact those are the ones that I already saw the picture that was distressed, either empty lots or distressed houses. And I know it's a hot zone to start with, and it's a hot zone and a hotter lead because it's a distressed lead. So again, that's another thing to kind of filter it down more as far as, okay, I want to buy here, and now I want to buy those. It's like driving for dollars in those areas. So it's taking me to do maybe a 800 place subdivision to go through it virtually. It's taking me around 2-3 hours to do that, to go through all that. Like I have see where I'm. So I pull up the location, and then I'm just driving through it. So from there, I got 79 leads. There are hot leads that are hotter plus the hot zone. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, man. What have you been doing, man? How you been? We haven't talked in a while.
Your protege deal
Sorry, you're breaking up. Sorry, man.
I'm at work. I know. You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
He's been in for the last 70 days.
You've been in a what?
Close on this. Meg is in Brazil. Meg in Brazil.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Yeah, your connection's kind of bad. You on your cell phone, you said? Or maybe it's my side. So another thing that I'm doing again, what's it called? That guy, the same guy that gave me the drawing for dollars, he gave me 4 lots. 4 other properties are deceased. I couldn't scrape. I stood tracing. I couldn't. They're all deceased people. And what's it called? Not only that, I try to call them and they didn't answer me. I try to call the sister, the nephew, the uncles, and they didn't answer me. So what I'm doing, Gorilla, I'm putting for sale by owner signs. I'm getting a newer because I have 6 numbers. I want to get another vanity number. Put buy for sale by owner signs. Put it in front of them and just what's it called? Get the calls. And the way they're gonna call me is 2 things. Like I would say, they're gonna call you to offer you, and they're gonna call you to see they're the actual owners. And then once they're actual owners, you don't have to call them from them directly. Just call them from another line. That's what I'm doing. So I'm part of the things I need to get four more for sale by owner signs and put it there, get a vanity number, and just put them at night and wait for calls. All right, guys. We already finished the hour. Again, Vernon, sorry I couldn't hear you, man. But yeah, let's connect next week or get in a private Zoom call and let's see what we're doing as far as we can grow. It's been going good. Again, our area is going good. Overall, it's going good, consistent. Again, I lowered my costs on a couple of things that I didn't buy for this year. I'm increasing my my fees on each contract because of the properties in the area went up like crazy. And I'm usually doing follow-ups on previous leads that I had a certain price already in mind. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, again, you guys know my info. We got the ShutUpMoney.com, also at the group. Again, reach out to us there. And if you have any questions, let us know. Again, Vernon, I see you again, man. Let's connect next week or whenever. Just send me a text or give me a call. Be safe.